Uh, so we're back for the second episode,
Sir.
or the fifth if you count the the ones that came before. They're like a year in between each other, but yeah. Um, Episode number two with Joshi.
Aye.
Um, I figured I'd like to start by going back to a previous topic we made in the
Okay.
last podcast, just to follow up on something on a point I made. Um, we were talking about how if you're on the internet in any capacity,
Mhm.
especially Twitter, um, you are just bombarded with the worst shit possible, um, and you have to watch it.
Mhm.
The reason I bring that up is because I was on our podcast account on Twitter, and I just go on that to I mean obviously tweet stuff like about the podcast or just post funny shit about Baja Blast
Mhm.
memes and stuff. But I don't follow anybody on that account. I don't think. If I follow somebody, it's probably like myself, but that's it. Um, and the for you page, because I guess fucking, which is this is stupid. I Twitter has fucking two sections where it's like a for you type deal,
Uh-huh.
and then there's like a separate section of who you're following, which is but in the for you page, it's like it shows you shit from people you already follow. So it's like, what are you doing? But I guess it's for tweets that you might like based
Mhm.
on God knows what. But that's beside the point. Um, the point is, I was following nobody, and my for you page on Twitter for the podcast account was like nothing but fucking political bullshit. Like all the fucking stuff that's going on in fucking Israel and Gaza. Um, there was like the Israel World War III thing that everybody's like concerned about
Mhm.
now, and I'm just like, I don't like I said, I don't follow anybody on that account, so Twitter thinks that's a new account essentially,
Okay.
and this is what it's deciding to show a new account. And it's like I was just kind of flabbergasted because I'm like, this just proves my point. Um, I mean, I get that it won't be like that, like once I start following people, but like the fact that I don't follow anybody, and it's like, oh, you might want to see that Trump and this judge are fighting. It's like I don't care, and I don't, and the Gaza thing is like, I mean, I kind of understand that it's like, oh, this is what's quote unquote going on in the world, but that's not what I want to see. If I'm because if you think about it, I would like to think that mostly, I mean, at least some New Year's on Twitter are not old enough to care about that shit.
Mhm.
So it's like, I don't know. Like I said, I feel like I know why they do it because it's like current world events. But I feel like if you're just starting out, just show something that's not fucking political, or let them choose to go into whatever that is.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, I made this whole fucking tweet about it. It's like, hey, look, I was right.
Well,
is the is the TLDR?
well, I can tell you that your Twitter is way better than mine because as I'm not like, yeah, I have one. I'm never on it. I used to have it on my phone, deleted it because I was like, it's kind of pointless. Like, I deleted the app because I'm like, it's kind of pointless to even have. But from what I do remember is every time I was on it, that whole little like For You section was nothing but fights and gore for me. Don't ask why, don't ask how. That I'm literally never on Twitter. You know, I do music and everything like that, so that was a whole reason for me to start having one, was to like post
Yeah.
stuff about music and like updates and everything like that. And it just somehow turned to fights and, you know, people getting stabbed and everything like that. And it's just wild. I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, hate it or love it, shout out to Elon for keeping it real. But
I mean,
also not shout out to Elon for keeping it too real because kids have
yeah.
easy access to this shit. But you know, it's different because it's truly one of the platforms where you can really still be yourself and kind of put what you want. But with that being said, people on there are still super unfiltered, and you will get 1,000% judged, no matter
Oh,
what you do.
it's a huge double-edged sword
Yeah.
because like on the one hand, people can say whatever they want, but on the other hand, people can say whatever they want.
Yeah, exactly.
And like I'm all for like you know letting people say whatever. Um but like too far is too far and I
Mm,
feel like uh cuz like me personally I understand why Twitter is a dumpster fire. But like I said before, like the people I follow and the content that I consume on Twitter is not necessarily a part of that dumpster fire
mm.
because I'm on Twitter just to for memes and to obsess over music and like just be like a relatively I don't know like I like to talk shit sometimes like
Mhm.
sometimes that's fun uh but yeah like nothing too outrageous has come across my timeline but like I know people who are in certain circles that's like that's all like they deal with is just fucking wild
Yeah,
posts
yeah.
and just outrageous shit that should never be seen by another human being.
It's definitely strange when it all just pops up out of nowhere, you know? Like I was saying, like my thing is strictly for music. I follow nothing but, you know, artists, like actual like famous music artists and producers that are, you know, just making beats and just trying to make a living and everything. And out of nowhere, you get on there one day and this person and that person is getting into it. And you know, it's wild.
Right.
But,
Yeah, and
oh,
the
go ahead.
terrible thing about that too is like if you're scrolling and you see that and you're like and you don't know what it is like off rip and you're like I wonder what this is. And you click on it, it's like, oh, cool. This is some dude getting beheaded. I didn't want to see this.
Yeah.
But uh the algorithm on Twitter, especially like on Twitter and TikTok, I feel like kind of Instagram too, but not to the extent that Twitter and TikTok do it.
Hmm.
But like if you like interact with something even in the tiniest of ways, the algorithms be like, he wants more of that. He clicked on it. He wants more of it. He clicked on the beheading video. We're gonna show him like 5 other beheading videos.
It's them cookies,
It's,
bro.
and I'm just like, I didn't want to see it. Like it was an accident. I clicked on it by accident. I don't want to see this shit. But the algorithm's like, no. We know what you like.
Yeah.
We are the all knowing force in the universe that knows exactly what you like and don't like. So you shut up and you take it.
Now, okay, quick topic jump because you said something about it earlier and it just reminded me. You were talking about, you said something, you skipped past music wholly, and I know that you listen. You know, I know what kind of music you listen to. You know what kind of music I listen to, and I'm slowly getting into certain type of rock and everything like that, only because that's what my girl listens to. So, music news, I don't know if you heard this, but you know who Dance Gavin Dance is, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Tillian,
Oh, I
one
know where
of
you're going with this.
the yep. Okay, so you heard about it. Tillian is leaving Dance Gavin Dance. Now, as the reason is unknown so far, from at least from my knowledge. I heard, or not heard, but I read that he just got married and he's trying to work on a solo career and he doesn't want to put a burden on anybody. I'm assuming that goes for like music, albums, tours, music videos, stuff like that. So that was just, I don't know. At first I didn't know who they were until October of last year. August
Mhm.
or something like that, sometime last year, towards the end. Um, Actually really into their music, and then my girl was telling me about it, and it's just like I'm not into that music enough to really, worry about it or think about it. But I just thought it was something cool to bring up and something to, like talk about. I don't know. I'll just be quiet.
No, yeah. No, I feel like dance. I feel like Dance Gavin Dance is an acquired taste as far as like a band is concerned. Um, because I don't remember exactly when I first heard them, but they're a band I uh have heard like a couple of songs by them like throughout the years, but I never really like dove into the band. But recently, I heard their most recent album, Jackpot Juicer, and I thought that was a
Yeah,
really good album.
very good. That's the
And
tour that I went
so,
to when I went to go see him.
ah, I'm
So
jealous.
good.
But yeah, so and I actually traded my one of my friends for the record. And yeah, it's just fire from front to back. But as far as like the whole like lead singer leaving, if I'm not mistaken, I'm not like too deep into the lore,
Mm.
but I think this is the second time this has happened. I don't know
The
why he.
first time the um the first time it happened, one of the co-lead singers actually died.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it sucks because definitely he definitely has a unique voice.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
I don't know. They're probably gonna get a new singer, and I'm sure it's probably. I hope it'll be good. Like,
Yeah.
um,
Speaking
but
of
yeah.
vinyls and everything as well, I meant to send you a picture of this the other day. Recently got the Linkin Park limited edition vinyl, and
Oh,
it
is it
has like a
the
bunch of
paper cuts?
hits. Yeah, it's paper
The
cuts. That's what it is. Yeah, bro. Oh, it is so nice.
so you collect vinyl?
Yeah, yeah. My girl kind of got a record player because she wanted to start, and then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start too. So definitely started. We don't have that many, but we're up to maybe about six or seven.
Word. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it's definitely something to get into because we have a bunch of weird little collections. We have pops, and then we have vinyls, and I have shoes and old school games, and just stuff
Oh
like
hell
that.
yeah! It's just another hobby. Just be careful.
Yeah, yeah, very, very expensive.
It's something that you can easily get sucked into, and yeah, it's because I have like almost 300 records at this point, and like
Jesus.
yeah, oh like it's taken like years, but still I notice like most people like when they start vinyl collections, that they usually go for like albums they think are like the greatest of all time, right? In
Mm.
their mind. So like my first albums were Prequel by Ghost. My parents got me like this limited edition box set.
Hell
Um
yeah.
which is kind of funny because the story about that is kind of funny because um I they know I like the band uh Ghost, and I didn't have a record player that year that they got me that. Um And it's funny. Well, actually, no, that's not entirely correct. I got a record player from uh my friend who you know as Diego.
Hmm.
Um, because they're funny enough, I used to be one of those people that are like, why am I gonna buy a fucking frisbee if I can just listen to it on my phone?
Hmm.
And Diego's like, you're a dumbass. And I'm just like, I just didn't see the point because I'm like, I can listen to it. I'm like, I doubt it sounds that much different.
Yeah.
And Diego's like, no, that's not correct. And so Diego got at some point, I think for his birthday, I could be wrong, but he got a new record player and he gave me his old one. And it wasn't like anything extravagant, but it was a record player. And I was like, okay, I'll hook it up and I'll try it out and I'll see what's what. Um, and I believe the first record I owned was that prequel box set from my parents that I got for Christmas. Um, and yeah, it came with like a bunch of goodies and stuff, and I was kind of surprised because I didn't ask for that. Um, and I didn't have a record player until like October ish, I want to say.
Hmm.
But when they announced it and it went on sale, it was in like June. So like I don't know what they I like I'm obviously like I'm glad as fuck they got it because like number one it's like mad expensive because it's a fucking
Hmm.
box set now. But Prequel is like my favorite album by that band. So but yeah, just the thing like it's wild that like they got me a vinyl set without me having a vinyl player,
Hmm.
which I do think some people do that. I don't know if a lot of people do that, but I know people like to collect records just to collect records and like display them and stuff,
Hmm.
not to necessarily listen to, which, I'm not like that's cool.
Yeah.
um but anyway, yeah, I think the first record I actually bought with my own money was The Black Parade by My Chemical Romance.
Hell yeah.
Um, and let me tell you, I was either that record or Prequel is one of the records I played first. And like dude, as soon as like the first couple songs were over, I was like, holy shit, I was so wrong. Records are so much fucking there's so much to unpack, you know?
Yeah.
Um like you can feel the bass more, the drums hit a lot harder. Um and like the thing I think is kind of cool is like not all records are made the same
Hmm.
because like obviously some records need more bass or some records you need to hear the guitar more or some records you need to hear the vocals more. And somehow they can manufacture that when they're making the vinyl itself. And I think that's really fucking neato.
One
Because
thing
like
that
there's
really. Oh, go ahead. My fault.
oh no, you're good. All I was gonna say is like there's a lot of nuance involved as opposed to just listening to it on your phone.
Hmm. Yeah. Thing that really intrigues me about vinyls and everything is, yeah, you can get a small little square CD and everything and, have it do the same thing. But I don't know, I feel like a blown up picture of the what is it, the cover art and everything, and then the actual vinyl itself, like, like for paper cuts, like I said, I don't know if you've seen what the disc looks like, but it's like this lime green with, and it looks like black splattered paint and every, I don't know, I just think
Hmm.
that the actual vinyl discs themselves are super cool when they're all decked out and everything. That's one thing
Yep.
that really brings me towards vinyls and everything like that. And funny enough, my first vinyl was actually called Vinyl Days. It's what is it? It's an album by Logic. And
Okay.
yeah, so I think that's pretty funny. First vinyl has vinyl in the title. But I don't know. I feel like vinyls is as old and outdated as everybody plays them out to be. Because it's like, oh, that's a 60s, 70s thing, stuff like that. But it's just like nowadays, okay, cool. Everything is advancing. Everybody has this and that on their phone. But how many people's house can you walk into and be like, "Yeah, I got this on vinyl," or look at Jason's vinyl collection. He has fucking 300. Vinyls are just
Right.
cool, and they're like you said, they're expensive. They are, and that is true. They are very expensive. But it's just cool to have because you can always listen to whatever you want on your phone. But you can't just sit there and put on a vinyl whenever you want. You got to be in the mood, in the
Right.
zone, in the right space for it to hit exactly how you want it to hit. It's like listening to that perfect
Mm-hmm.
album for the very first time all over again.
Yes, sir. And like two, um, as far as like the whole like color aspect,
Mm,
uh, that in itself too is fucking like it's art.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
um, and that for a lot of people, uh, it helps with like the collector factor, I guess. Um, because me personally, because there's a lot of debate, um, around whether like a regular standard black record sounds better than like a color, uh, variant. But
Mhm.
in my opinion, like the if there is a difference, I can't tell. Um, so as far as like that whole thing is concerned, like if the color's cool, I'm gonna get it. I
Mhm.
don't care. Um, and like I know a lot of people will buy like if they and I'm guilty of this too. If they really like a record, they'll get like multiple colors of the same record just to have. um, which I did. Um, I don't do it as much anymore because obviously like it's expensive to do that type of thing.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, like prequel, like I said, I have the box set and I have two other colors of it just because they're one's a Zia exclusive, I believe, and one is just I bought because I didn't want to play the limited edition one I had. So I was just like, yeah, I'll just get that one. And then funny enough, the Black Parade I have another copy of because the one I bought, the first record I bought, it's just standard black. Uh, but my parents for Christmas got me the Black Parade, but it's gray colored.
Okay.
And I think for me, because like there's different types of colors. There's like splatter, there's swirl, there's like transparent colors. Um, but I think for me, I think my favorite types is either a splatter or a swirl, where it's like two different colors and it's like swirled into the record.
Oh, I don't think I've seen one
Um,
of those.
yeah, if you hit me up one day, I'll show you.
Yeah, for sure, bro. Definitely.
Because I think one thing I've been doing lately, though, is that like say if I buy a record and it's just standard black, what I'll do is if they come out with like a new color or like if I'm at the record store and I find like a bomb ass color, I'll just buy the color and then I'll trade in the black one.
Okay.
Cause like cause I used to be worried that's like, well, cause I would I like I said I used to want to be like that, where it's like, okay, let's have a black one and I'll have a colored one, and it would my reason behind it would be, well, if one of them breaks, I have the other one. But I've kind of come around to the fact now that like if something like I can more than likely, if something happens to the record, I can just easily replace it. It's not going to be that big of a deal. So I'm just like I said, it is a money thing, but also too, it's just like I don't need two versions of the same record
Mhm.
unless it's a fire record. Then you can kind of make the argument that, since it's my favorite record, I need to have multiple colors. But um, yeah, and like it like for me, the one of the best things about records is going to record stores and just finding records that like
Yeah.
just finding it in the wild. Like you didn't expect to see anything, and you're like, oh shit, they have this
Mhm.
record that I've wanted for 3 years.
Or
And then there's
like in my case where it's like I'm just now getting into vinyls, and like I said, I'm kind of getting into like rock and shit. I go to like Zia Records and I see a record and I'm like, oh shit, what? This is a vinyl? So
hmm
it's cool. It's definitely fun and it's something to get into, but like I keep saying, it's very, very pricey.
yeah, it because I think when I started collecting, which is back in like 2018, late 2018, I think, like base records were going for like $20.
Shit.
Um, Now it's like you're lucky if you find, if it's a single record, like with just a side A and a side B,
Hmm.
um it seems like 25 to 30 is the going price. But if it's like a double LP, so it has like a side A, side B, side C, and side D, so it's two records.
Hmm.
Um it's like between like 35 and 40, depending on if it's colored or not.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, inflation definitely hit, but one thing I have to recommend if you're gonna be serious about collecting records is make an account with Discogs.
Cool.
so so basically, what Discogs is it's not, how to explain it. It's like it's many things actually. Like you can buy CDs, DVDs, records, but I feel like I think you can buy movies. I'm not sure because I haven't bought any. I think you can. Don't quote me on that. But I know you can buy like CDs and records.
Uh-huh.
Um, but the cool thing is when you have an account, you can catalog all the shit that you have.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
and yeah, you can see like what the like if you like say you add the Linkin Park vinyl
Hmm.
to your thing. Um, if people click on it, they can see like what color you got, and mainly like I use it for catalog purposes, and I have Diego and another friend of mine on there, and like it'll tell you like if you're friends with somebody, it'll tell you like because they have a section for the records you own
Hmm.
and the records you want to own, or a want list, um, which actually comes in really clutch sometimes because I forget sometimes that I want certain records, and we'll be at like Zia or whatever, and Diego come up with me and be like, "Haven't you been looking for this?" And I completely forgot that I wanted it, but he knows that I want it because it's on my want list.
Hmm.
So it's good for like keeping track of like what you want. Um, And a little like niche thing too is like it'll I don't know if there's like a threshold, but of like records you have to have in your collection. But it'll tell you uh like a least to most like appraisal of your collection. So it'll be
Okay.
like your collection is worth at least $300, but the most it could be worth is $500. Um, and that, like I say, it's kind of a niche thing, but it's just kind of cool to look at every now and then. Um, just just as a reminder of how much fucking money you've sunk into this. But yeah, the cool things about Discogs too is like I said, you can buy records off of there too. And so far, I haven't had a bad experience ordering off Discogs. Um, because nine times, like other users, like individuals can sell records and stuff.
Uh,
But like the majority of records on there, I feel like is sold from like other record stores from across the country.
okay.
So, um, I usually try to buy from the record stores because you can, like obviously there's reviews and stuff you can look at just to make sure like you're not going to get fucked over. But it's a really smooth transaction. There's not a lot of bullshit. It's like say you want a record, okay, add it to cart, buy, and then you pay them, and then they ship it, and that's it.
Okay.
Um, and like I said, one of the cool things about Discogs is you can sometimes you can find stuff a lot cheaper than you can if you go to the record store.
Mhm.
Um, and it just comes down to like I guess how much you prefer convenience because like you could find a record at Zia for like $30, but you could also find it on Discogs for like 25 with shipping. But it's like, do you want to wait those extra days for $5 less? And
Uh,
it's like that's up to you. Like um but yeah, like I found some really good stuff on Discogs for a really cheap price. And it's a good way to gauge um like if you want to sell records, you just go on Discogs and like look at how much that record is selling for.
okay.
Um but yeah, like I feel like it's a cool little tool to have if you're going to collect records
Okay.
because like I
For
said,
sure.
it's you can flex to your friends and be like, look at what I got. um, but yeah, I think the rarest record I have in my collection, like I don't know like how you would gauge rarity
Mhm.
because I guess it would depend on the person. Um, and I mean I guess it's like well like how available is it or blah blah blah, but Um, I feel like personally the rarest record I have in my collection is Three Cheers for Sweet Revenge by My Chemical Romance, and it's a blood splatter.
Mhm.
So basically the vinyl is clear, and it just looks like it has blood just splattered on it as the splatter color, and it was a Hot Topic exclusive back in like 2005.
Shit.
So that yeah, that particular variant hasn't been in circulation for a long time.
Mhm.
And my buddies and my parents all chipped in money and got it for me for Christmas one year, and I'll forever be thankful. I literally sell every other record I own except that one. That one is ever leaving my collection. It'll be, like I said, even if it's the last record and I need money, no, I'm not selling it.
Yeah, no.
But yeah, I mean, because it was like what, like I want to say like over $200,
Jesus Christ.
which is wild. Because they got it for me. I think I don't know. I don't remember if it was wrapped or if it was in a bag.
Hmm.
But I remember just like opening it or like taking it out of the bag, and I see the quarter and I recognize the album, and I'm like, hold on, hold up.
No,
They're not gonna get me the same record I already own unless it's a special color. There's no fucking way. And as it turns out, there is a fucking way. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's definitely it's definitely like one of the things that I enjoy doing. I like going out and collecting, and it also too a good side effect too is it makes me want to listen to more music.
Yeah.
Um, he's like, I'll hear somebody's like, "Oh, this album's good," or I'll just see something that like I'm kind of interested in. So what I'll do is like I'll go to iTunes and like I'll listen to the album a few times, and then like if I'm like really into it, I'll try to go find the vinyl, whether it's at Discogs or if it's at Zia. But it's just like that process of like going through that. I feel like is kind of fun.
Yeah. Like I said, it's kind of like a similar feeling of finding a really good album and listening to it for the first time.
Yeah. And there's been a lot of albums too where I listen to it and I'm like, I have to have this on vinyl, no questions asked. Like this has to be in my collection by the end of the day. I'm going to Zia.
Shit.
I think
Uh,
one of the only things I don't like is that sometimes you listen to a record and it's not on vinyl.
yeah.
For example, Breaking Benjamin, Phobia, no vinyl at all.
Uh,
Just because it was made at a time where vinyl wasn't popular, so they didn't do it. Um, and then I know Dear Agony, um, which is the album that came after Phobia, I believe. Um, that has a vinyl pressing, but it's only like 200 or something like that, some small number. So like any copies that pop out of Discogs are like $800. I'm just like, no.
oh shit.
Yeah. That's why I'm like, please fucking repress it for the love of God.
Shit, yeah, no, paying that much is crazy. Even when I was at the record store, I was seeing records for like 40, like it looked like it averaged, like you were saying, like 30, $40 basically. But I would see some that was like 50, 60, fucking 80, 90. It's just like, whoa. All that for
Yeah,
some
I mean,
music?
a lot of those prices in like on vinyl in general, it depends on a lot of things.
Mhm.
Like how many copies of said record there is it colored or not, um what like is this a pressing from 2005 or is it a pressing from 2016? um that plays a huge part.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's just a lot of different factors that go into the pricing,
Uh-huh.
but I do agree that sometimes they get a little stupid with it. Um, because there was actually, now that you mention it, at Zia there was a Dance Gavin Dance record. Don't remember exactly which one it was, but it was like fucking $80. We're like, why?
What the fuck?
like, we can just get a different copy for like $30, maybe even 35. Like,
Hmm.
and like, I mean, I kind of get it. Like, it's rare and it's colored, but come on.
Right, yeah. Yeah, and see, it goes back to what I was saying too, it's like, you can just listen to it on your phone. Like save yourself the money,
True,
just go ahead and
true.
listen to it on your phone,
Yeah,
you know?
because there are definitely records that I'm like, I'll listen to it on my phone, but I don't really care about owning it on vinyl. um, and like, one of the things I like to do is when I'm collecting vinyls is if it's colored, I always try like if there's obviously if there's one color, like it doesn't matter, like I
Mhm.
don't give it a choice, but like if there's multiple colors, I always try to go with the color that closely matches what the album cover looks like,
Okay.
and that's kind of the reasons why I like the swirl so much is because you can get a lot of colors onto the vinyl at once.
Mhm.
So like if the cover's like yellow, red, and orange, you can swirl all those colors on the vinyl, and it'll look almost identical to the album cover. And I don't know why, but that just gives me serotonin in my fucking head of like
Shit, like I said, man, I haven't seen a swirl vinyl. I definitely need to look for one and find a vinyl or an album that I like enough to actually, put one in the collection.
dude, fucking hit me up like one of these days. Like I'm me and Diego and another one of my friends. Always going to Zia, so
Yeah, for sure. Definitely will, man.
it's a for us. It's a once a week thing
Okay.
usually, but right now we're not going as much because we're going on a Cali trip in the end of June
Okay.
to go see a band called Death LA, and
Okay.
it's not a cover band, but it's not the original band because the band that it's inspired by is called Death, uh, but the lead singer passed away.
Hmm.
So, and Diego was telling me about it the other day. Like it has some original members from the band, but it's not. But it's just something cool to go to.
Right.
That we all because usually we try to take we want to go see concerts in Cali just because Amoeba's there, which if you don't know what Amoeba is like this giant, like it's insane.
Hmm.
Like just imagine Zia, but like in a warehouse.
Oh
It's
shit.
so, dude, you the because yeah, I
Oh.
know, like so many things are like
Uh.
so many thoughts I want to like blurt out. They just kind of collided with each other in my fucking head, and it just kind of short circuited for a little bit. But no, the reason why we're not going to Zia as much is because when we go to Cali, we're planning to hit all these record stores, and I mean I don't know if it's just because it's a different place or we just suck at having record stores. But in Cali they have a lot of good shit at their record stores.
Okay.
So we're trying to save as much money as we can. So if we see something, we don't have to be like, well, it's just gonna like, am I gonna go broke because I bought this $80 record?
Hmm.
Like, because yeah, but like I said, like Amoeba's like fucking gigantic. They have like it's Zia on fucking crack,
Shit.
essentially.
Well,
And
no,
like Like
when you
going
go.
there, you
Oh
you can easily spend like thousands of dollars. It's
shit!
insane.
When
Which
you
is why
go,
we only
keep
go
me
once
in
a year.
mind.
But what were you saying?
I was gonna say when you go, keep me in mind, just in case if you find something you think I might like, I'll send you the money for it for you to get it for me.
Oh hell yeah! By I mean hopefully by that time, you'll have your Discogs thing set up.
Mhm.
Um, and then if I'm there, like I can just look at your want list and see like if
Oh
they have
shit.
anything you, yeah.
Okay.
So I can be like, hey, they got so and so here. You want me to grab it? And if you say yeah, then I grab it, and then that's
Oh
that.
yeah. For sure. After we get done with this, I'll set it up and everything, and then I'll let you know when it's all set up.
Yeah, for sure. Um, just when you're adding records,
Mhm.
just be. It's not hard, but if it's a record that's has a lot of pressings,
Uh-huh.
you just got to be careful so you don't add the wrong one.
Oh, okay. I gotcha.
Because if it has like 10 different colors, when you search up the record, it'll show you 10 different versions. So you have to kind of like sift through and find the one that it's like I said, it's not hard. It's just uh, tedious sometimes.
Okay.
Um, but one thing that you should be able to do with most of your records is if you notice they have a barcode on the back.
Uh-huh.
Um, and Discogs has an app on your phone, and you can scan the barcode, and it'll bring up the record for you, and then you can just add it to your collection without having to like sift through a bunch of shit.
Okay. And then when you go on there, is everything? Oh no, you said it's like CDs and movies and stuff like that.
It's mainly records, but they do
Okay.
sell like CDs, and I don't know if they
Okay.
sell movies. I haven't looked into it.
So would you
They
be
might,
able
they might
to?
not.
Okay. Would you be able to see like as soon as you go on there if it's being sold as a record or as a vinyl?
So, for example, if I wanted to buy the Black Parade,
Uh-huh.
I would go. You can search it a lot of different ways, but and it also depends on like if you're on your phone or on your laptop or computer or whatever.
Mhm.
Um, I find that the site on the laptop is a lot more functional, I
Mhm.
guess. Than like the app works, it's fine, but sometimes it's kind of wonky. When you're trying to like search for stuff or like if you're looking through somebody's collection, it'll do some like weird shit.
Okay.
Um, but usually, what I'll do is I'll look for the artist first, um, and then you can, because like you can search for the album itself, but I find when you do that, it brings up a lot of shit that you don't know. Like it'll tell you if it's a CD or if it's a vinyl, but I just don't feel like reading because I'm fucking lazy. So, well, like I said, what I'll do is I'll just search the artist, and then it'll show you like all the albums in that artist catalog, and then you can click the album, and you can choose what format you want it in. So if you want to look for CDs, it'll show you the CDs. If you want to look for vinyls, it'll show you the vinyls. So
Okay.
yeah, you can choose what it'll show you.
Okay.
Um, and then like if you choose the vinyls, it'll show you like all the pressings that vinyls had, um, and like all the different colors and stuff. And then if you click on a certain one, it'll tell you like I feel I don't know how they gauge their prices for the because like when you click on a record, it'll show you the record obviously, and then like it'll say something like there's 15 of these for like 26.99, um And then like if you go to the buy page and it shows you like everyone who's selling it, it'll show you like, okay, this guy's selling it for 30, this guy's selling it for 25, this guy's selling it for 27.
Okay.
And it'll tell you too, it'll be like $27.99 plus $3 for shipping. So you can calculate that into the price. So you're not like, wait a minute, this record said it was 25, now I'm paying 32. Why?
Okay, I got you.
So yeah, like I said, if it's a fairly easy process once you get the hang of it. It does seem a little weird at first, but like once you get into the habit of doing it, it's just second nature basically.
Okay,
And like I
for
said,
sure.
if you need any help, but like I got you, it's not a big deal.
Okay. Yeah,
But
because I definitely want to grow the vinyl collection this year. Not even just
hell
this year, but just in general.
yeah, man. Like I said, it's a fun hobby. It's just the only issue I'm having now is space.
Yeah.
Because I have like a four cabinet setup
Uh.
where it's like I have the vinyl player on top of the shelf, and like there's four little, well not little, but there's four like holes to put shit in, and like all of them are filled up basically. So
Shit.
yeah, it's wild. But I'm gonna get another shelf here soon so I can uh start putting more records in. But yeah, I know like one of my friends who works at Zia, he has like 800. I'm like, God
Jesus
damn.
Christ, that's ridiculous.
But you know what? I can't say that I blame him.
Yeah,
It's like,
especially working around records all day. You're
hey,
the
dude,
first
it
set of
must be
eyes that sees
fucking
everything.
yeah. Like I would be scared for my
Yeah.
sense of self control, honestly.
Paycheck would go
Like
right back into the company.
exactly right. Yeah. Yeah, it'd be fucking. I mean, I wouldn't mind working there. Honestly, I think it'd be a cool little job. It's just
Yeah.
the pay is probably not that great.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, too, like when you're, fucking, yeah, like I've always like come across the thought of like, do I ever think like I'll stop? Like, do I think I'm gonna get to a point where I'm just like, okay, that's it, that's enough.
Fucking enough's
I'm not
enough.
buying. Yeah, I'm not buying records ever again. And to be honest, no, I don't think it's gonna. Will I like
Yeah.
slow down and like not buy as much as often? Sure, probably. But like, there's always new music coming out, so
Mm.
there's probably something I'm gonna listen to and be like, I gotta have it on vinyl. So yeah, like I don't think I'll ever stop completely. It's just like I said, the main issue is space. Like
Yeah.
that's um because it's gonna eventually turn into something where I have to have like multiple like bookshelves of just vinyl or
Hmm.
a room for just vinyl, you know. But yeah, it's also like just kind of neat just looking at the records you do have and
Right.
just be like, huh, I own that.
Yeah, like for us here, we have a little stand and everything, and which holds, the record player and everything. We have a old school microphone, and then we have a stand where you place the vinyl itself, and is now playing. You know, it's cool. I gotta send you a picture of it. It's really nice, and it's a cool little thing because we're trying to do our whole apartment like retro-ish. You
Mm.
know, so
Oh, that's cool.
that yeah, so that is definitely fitting. It's a really cool little corner.
um yeah, actually, the funny story about my record player is that so before, obviously I told you I had Diego's old record player,
Mhm.
and it was good for what it was worth. It wasn't like bad or anything, but obviously it could be better. So my dad actually bought me I'll put in a better record player in quotes. Or what he thought was a better record player, and he got it for me for Christmas, and I was stoked. And I set it up, and like I put the record on, and like the needle wasn't moving, and I was like, okay, I'm fucking something up. Cause like my dad at the time had a record player, right? And he has
Right.
vinyls, and he knows like everything there is to know about like record players, stereos, like he like that was his shit.
Mhm.
So obviously I was like, obviously I'm fucking something up. So I called him into my room to come look at it, and he's like, that's fucking weird. He's like, unplug it and bring it out to the kitchen table. I'll take a look at it, see what's wrong with it. I'm like, okay. So unplug it, bring it out to the table, and it's obvious like he's gonna like take it apart and look at it. So I
Mhm.
just like, okay, I'll just let him do his thing, and I'll just go in my room and do whatever. And then a couple minutes later, I just fucking hear this fucking crash and banging sound
Oh
coming from the
shit.
living room. And I'm just like, what the fuck? And I go to the living room, and it's just on the floor in fucking pieces. And I was like, what happened? He's like, that
Oh
thing's a piece
shit.
of shit. I was like, okay. I'm like, I'm sorry, but don't you feel bad? Cause like you bought it, like you just gonna fucking like I didn't say that obviously, but in my
Right,
head I was
right.
just like, so he's like, yeah, I'm not gonna trust the internet when it comes to buying vinyl players anymore. And I was like, that's probably a good rule of thumb.
Yeah.
And he's like, but I actually did want to get you a record player for Christmas. So he's like, here's what I'm gonna do. And I was like, what are you gonna do? And he was like, I'm gonna give you my record player. I was like, word, because his record player is from like '97.
Oh shit.
So like he like this is like the good shit, you know?
Right. Made to
um,
last.
yes, sir. And fucking yeah, he gave me the record player, and he gave me an equalizer with it too. So like if I want more vocals on the record, I can turn it up. I can, if I don't want as much bass, I can turn that down. So like I can just manufacture the record to how I want it to sound,
Okay.
which is like another level of like what I was saying earlier is like, yeah, like a lot of records are like, for lack of a better word, custom made to sound a certain way,
Hmm.
but I can also make it sound how I want to sound if I don't necessarily, if I think like, oh, like this record should have more bass, I can give it more bass.
That's cool.
You know? So yeah, and like it hasn't let me down yet. So um just fucking I put stickers and shit on the lid, so
Oh yeah.
yeah, and like bless their heart, because I know like they don't hate the music I listen to. Um and like they don't even dislike the music I listen to,
Hmm.
but I know they aren't necessarily fond of like the heavier stuff.
Mhm.
And I know like there have been days where I'm just home, and I'm just fucking blasting a record, not even thinking about anyone else who's in the house. And I'm just like, oh, like peek my head out, because I'll think about it like while the record's playing, like, oh yeah, shit, my dad's home. Fuck.
Uh-oh.
And fucking it's like it's like fucking not at max volume, but like you can hear it in the walls basically.
Right, right.
And like I peek my head out, and I'm like, is my music too loud? And he's just like, no, you're good. So yeah, like shout out to them for like putting up with it because
Man,
I know they're not fond of everything I listen to. So
you know what?
um,
That's how it was when I was younger. And I remember my dad would take me to school because he was a country boy, man. But I don't know how
yep,
it
that's my
came or
mom.
yeah, I don't know how it ended up with me. But I was just like heavy into rap music and everything like that, and I would just blast it in the fucking car. And this poor guy's just driving me to school, fucking 7 o'clock in the morning. And you just hear about, doing drugs, selling drugs, people dying and shit like that. Oh, he's just trying to get me out of the car. I always felt so bad, and sometimes I'd look over and be like, "Damn," but I'm sorry. This is just what I listen to, you know?
Right, right.
Oh
Yeah,
man,
like it's yeah, I feel like my dad has a lot to do with like my music taste nowadays
yeah.
cuz like even cuz his favorite was like he liked rock,
Mhm.
but I feel like his favorite was either like classic rock stuff or like like blues stuff.
Okay.
Cuz he like growing up uh like all he played in the house was like it was a mixture of, between the two of like it was either blues or like classic rock,
Mhm.
and it was either like Van Halen or like Def Leppard.
Mhm.
um I know he liked the Eagles a lot. Jimi Hendrix was always on
Hell yeah.
repeat. Stevie Ray Vaughan was always on repeat. um and yeah, that was his favorite guitar player of all time was Jimi Hendrix.
Okay.
And he yeah, he could play a lot of Jimi Hendrix's stuff, and I was just fucking wildly impressed with that because like Jimi Hendrix can fucking shred,
Yeah,
obviously.
he was crazy.
So and that's basically what inspired me to be like, you know what? I kind of want to learn guitar because of that, because that looks fucking ridiculously fun.
Mhm.
Um, and like I always do go back and like listen to like a bunch of shit that we used to listen to in the house as a kid because like it's just nostalgia
Mhm.
basically.
Yeah.
um but yeah, and he would kind of surprise me every now and then because he I would put something on and he'd be like, who is this? And like he would be like for example, he really dug the prequel album.
Okay.
Because it has like a kind of 80s rock vibe to it.
Mhm.
And he really liked the cover art. And so
Yeah,
for
the whole thing
Christmas,
around Ghost is hella cool.
yeah, they're they I'll get into that in a second. But um yeah, he once I got him the CD for Christmas, and the next day I just fucking hear him bumping it in his room. And I'm just like, hell yeah. But no, yeah, Ghost, they're one of my favorite bands that I like. But recently their most recent album, Impera, is not, there's a couple good songs on it, but I don't feel like it's their best work.
Uh-huh.
Um I feel like most people would say that Meliora is their best album,
Mhm.
and I can honestly see why. It's a phenomenal album. Um, but just me personally, my favorite is the one that came after, which is prequel.
Mhm.
Prequel. I don't know how the fuck you are supposed to say it, but whatever. Um, just like the vibe I get from that album is immaculate.
Uh-huh.
And I just really like the riffs and how the album is constructed, and It has it has a really good instrumental. It has a really good closer. It has a really good opener. So for me, it's just an overall 10 out of 10 album. Although I know there's some people that would fucking flame me for that, but it is what it is what it is.
It is what it
Uh,
is.
but yeah, I mean, they they put on a really good live show. I will give them that because I saw them in 2018
Mm,
with Diego, and they killed it. And that was back when like I didn't even really listen to their older stuff, like because I had listened to a couple songs off Meliora, and I listened to like the singles from prequel, and I was like, yeah, I'll go see it. Like, fuck it.
uh,
And ironically, going to that show is what made me want to get into them like a lot more. um, because like I feel like in the beginning, the appeal for Ghost was the fact that it had a lot of they had a lot of metal tendencies.
mhm,
Like they had like the riffs and stuff, but the vocals were clean, and not a lot of people were doing that at the time.
mhm.
And two, like I feel like it pissed off like a lot of, well, metal should sound like this and blah 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 blah. Um, but because when they started, they weren't that big. Um, I mean, obviously, right? And then they sort of continued with that theme into the next album, where like it sounds like evil and spooky, but the lyrics are not like you would expect.
Uh,
Um, like because if you look at the band, like music aside, like everything, like to the logo and to like the aesthetic they have on stage, like everything would point to them being that kind of metal band with like heavy vocals and
right.
heavy guitar riffs, but it's not.
Okay.
um, but the like I said, their theatrics are fucking amazing. And like the gimmick is that like he's like a demon, like the lead singer is like a demon pope,
Mhm.
and like uh everybody's like the band's identity is concealed because they all wear masks on stage and they're just referred to as the nameless ghouls.
Huh.
But there was one I think I don't know if it was a show or if he played on an album. I think it was I think he played a show with them, but for one of the show, I don't know if it was a show or a tour. I
Mm.
think it was a singular show, but I could be wrong. But Dave Grohl actually played drums for them at one point,
Not
but
sure who
nobody
that
would
is.
know. You don't know who Dave Grohl is?
No.
Foo Fighters, Nirvana.
I know who the bands are. I just don't know who the people are. See, I'm not into I'm
Damn,
slowly getting into it.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that I find that kind of cool because like you wouldn't know it's him because of the mask.
Uh,
So, but
and
yeah, go on.
I was gonna say, and it's so crazy because this is honestly giving me a different perspective on the band because exactly what you were describing that they weren't is exactly how I thought that they were. So it
You'll
makes me
see, you know,
interested to go off and try to, give a couple of songs a listen and see how I think because you know the type of rock I'm into. I'm into like, not
yeah.
nothing crazy and like pop punk and shit like that.
Um, yeah, like I feel like you would dig it. Um, as far as like where to start, um, I would probably have you start with Meliora
Okay.
because I feel like that was their most commercial. I don't. I feel like it is. I could be wrong, but I feel like that was one of their most commercially popular albums,
Hmm.
and the production's really good. Um, the instrumentals are fantastic. and it's very you. There's a lot of debate um as to whether or not like they're actually metal or just
Mhm.
like hard rock essentially. I don't care. Like I just like the music. I don't care what you call it.
Mhm.
Like but some people are like fucking they have a stick up their ass about it and I'm just like you're an idiot. I'm not going to listen to a hard rock band. Okay.
Right.
I don't
It's not
bye.
gonna hurt me none.
Yeah. um but like yeah the the songs on Melior are like really well produced. They're really
Uh-huh.
well put together, lyrically and instrumentally. Um, like I said, prequel has like a lot more, like '80s inspired rock riffs. Um, Impera, I hate to say it, but Impera is more of like a '80s tribute album.
Uh-huh.
um, and like for me, the difference between because like prequel was like 80s inspired guitar riffs, but
Mhm.
like that's what it was. It was like inspired by. It still had that like ghost twist on it,
Uh-huh.
right? Um on Impera it feels like some of the songs are like, okay, here's how Van Halen sounds. We're going to copy that exact sound.
Mhm.
And it kind of doesn't at some points it doesn't feel like Ghost anymore. It just feels like they're trying to be a tribute band for like classic rock from the 80s or whatever.
Uh-huh.
Um and like I said, there's a couple good songs, but like just overall like as an album, I'm not really that fond of it.
Mhm.
Um and like that's the thing too about music is I could say that and then I can put it on and fucking my opinion can completely change. Like that's that I don't know why. Like sometimes that does happen. Like I'll
Mhm.
listen to an album and I'll be like this shit is ass. And then like a couple months or years or however long it is, I'll listen to it again and I'm like, "You know what? This isn't that bad."
That's how I feel like with a lot of the music that's coming out nowadays is like most of it just really fucking sucks. And then you're like, wait, you know what? Hold on. Give me a second. And then you
Yeah.
re-listen to a song or a whole album and you're just like, damn, why am I hating on this? Why do people hate on this? But no,
Yeah,
I know what you mean though.
there was one song fucking it was by Steven Sanchez. It was called Until I Found You, right?
Mhm.
The only reason I knew that song existed was because it was a trend on TikTok for a while.
Mhm.
And I was like, like I like the song, but it's like a fucking TikTok song.
Yeah, I hate that shit.
and, and I was like, oh fuck, I'll just bite the bullet and I'll just listen to all the other shit he has out. And I was like, fuck, it's not that bad. So I mean, you know what? At the end of the day, like I guess to a certain extent, TikTok is a good way to discover new music.
Yeah.
There's a couple gems in there every now and then, but I feel like most of the time it's not it.
Yeah, no, completely understandable. There's this one guy that I follow on TikTok. His name is Micah. He just, I guess his whole story is like he started off like homeless. All he had was a phone and everything, and he just started making content. And the dude actually is. He's super fucking hilarious. But come to find out, he makes music and everything like that, and he just released a whole little, I want to say it's like 10 songs, 10, 11 songs. a whole album, and I personally haven't listened to it yet, but he keeps promoting this one song, and it's just so good. Like the sound,
Mm-hmm.
the little snippet of the song is good, the whole song is good, but I'd have to sit down and listen to the album. But
Yeah.
TikTok definitely opens doors for a lot of artists because, like I said, this guy basically started off homeless with, nothing but his phone
Right.
and making content and everything. And I guess he was secretly making music, and then he drops a fucking 10 piece on our head. And I guess from what everybody's saying is that it's hella good.
Right. And this is gonna be a little side note, but I fucking hate it when I listen to a song by somebody and I'm really into the song, and then I go into either like the album it's from or like other songs to their discography,
Uh huh.
and it sounds nothing like the song I listened to.
Yeah.
It's just the only that one song that sounds that certain way, and I'm just kind of bummed. Usually it doesn't happen, but it does happen from time to time, and I'm just like, come on, man.
Mhm.
But
It,
yeah,
like speaking of like TikTok rappers, artists, just people like that, I went to go see my favorite artist back in March, March 21st, DC the Don. And there's actually this one rapper, I guess he had like this really popular TikTok song. Don't ask me what it is, don't remember. I guess his name is like Lil Cloud or something like that.
it sounds familiar.
And I don't know what this song was. I'm actually scrolling through trying to find it. But he was performing, and it's like everybody knew that one song. And then it's like you see in the videos when you have what's her name, when you have Ice Spice or Sexy Red on stage and shit. Everybody knows this one part of the song, but as soon as that part passes, everybody else is quiet, and that's
Yo,
exactly how it was
yo,
with this guy.
dude, yeah, I know that's fucking wild.
Yeah. So like it's good and it's bad. It's good because you get exposure from it and everything. But it's also bad because the people that are really on TikTok would only really listen to that certain section, and it'll I'm assuming it would be kind of hard to get people to want to like really listen to the full song and put it in their daily rotation or even their weekly rotation.
Yeah, and I'm the type of person that, um, like if I like a song or an album and I like really like it, I'll fucking run it into the ground.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah, me too.
I will listen to it nonstop, no matter
Not gonna
what my
lie.
friends say.
Yeah, not gonna lie. Listen to a song one day at work, literally for my whole 10-hour shift on accident. I was
Dude,
just like,
like,
every time the song played, I was like, fuck, this song is so good.
oh yeah,
And didn't
uh
didn't regret it one bit.
yeah, I fucking I'll like listen to a song, I'll wait a couple hours, and I'm like, you know what? I need to hear that song again.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I think I put the song on repeat because I wanted to listen to it at least like two or three times. Ended up being my whole 10-hour shift.
I
What
mean,
the
I
song is,
on
just in case if anybody's wondering, it was "Closure" by D Savage. Amazing song. But um, yeah, no, I don't know. I don't know how the fuck I got to listening to the song for 10 hours straight. I know I at a point I got busy and I was like, fuck, I can't pull out my phone. I can't change the song, and I was too busy to use my hand to, tell my watch.
right.
But I don't know, man. I just listened to the song for 10 hours and I was like, yeah, I'm not mad at it.
Yeah, no, there's a there's an album by a local metal band called Spirit World.
Uh,
In 2022, they came out with a record called Death Western,
mm,
and it's so good front to back. Absolutely nothing but 10 out of 10s, in my opinion. But
yeah.
I could listen to that record from front to back easily like 2 or 3 times and
Mm-hmm.
not be bored. 'Cause it's just one of those records that like you listen to it and like the fucking hair stands up on the back of your neck and like you get goosebumps and shit. Like it's just so
It's better every
fucking
time.
yeah. Like it never gets boring. Um, yeah, it's just one of those albums like that uh MCR's discography.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Trench, that's one on Pilots is another one I can listen to on repeat. But yeah, like well, usually like the cycle will be like I'll find a song or an album and I'll listen to it until I get bored of it. And usually when I get bored, I'll somehow find something else to be attached to until I run
Mm.
that into the ground. And then it just keeps like cycling.
Mm.
Because like I never go into it like okay, I'm gonna try to find a song, but I'm gonna be obsessed with it. Just happens.
Yeah.
So,
Hey,
um,
I feel like that's how I'm gonna be soon because in 10 days on the 26th, my girl and I were gonna go see Dayseeker. We're only there for one band, but it turns out she actually listens to Dayseeker and she's like slowly getting into them.
mhm.
I have no idea who they are, but she showed me one song and it was pretty good. So I feel like it's gonna be like as soon as I listen to them, like as soon as the concert's finished, I'm gonna be listening to them all day. Like kind of like how I did with Dance Gavin Dance after the concert and everything. I was listening to them for like a week straight.
Yeah, like I said, that's how it was with Ghost.
Mm,
Fucking yeah, I was on Twitter like I want to say like a week or two ago, and somebody had a take of like you shouldn't go to a band's concert if you don't know their songs. And I'm like, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
yeah.
Like,
Yes and no. I mean, yes and no. Yes, because if you don't like it, you're honestly gonna be wasting your money. No, because if you end up liking it, now you have more music to listen to, and it just opens up a lot of doors.
yeah, like I feel like what they meant to say was like if you don't know most of their songs,
Mm,
because yeah, like I'm not gonna go see a band like I haven't heard jack shit from versus like anything I've heard from my friends. Like if I haven't heard anything from a band, but I hear
mm,
from like everybody that's like, oh yeah, they're good. Like I'm still not gonna go see it. I
mm.
have to listen to something before I go if I'm gonna go. Well, like if you only know like 1 or 2 songs and you're like, yeah, I could probably vibe to this for like an hour, hour and a half, then yeah,
Mm,
like go for it. Like no one like even if you go by yourself, like I used to be against going to concerts by myself, just because like I like the whole like getting a group of friends to go see like a band you all really like, and
right.
you like felt you could get into it when like the concert's there, but um, because back in I want to say it was 2022. Damn. Um, I went to see My Chemical Romance when they came here,
Mm,
and um, I wanted to go with Diego, but he didn't get a ticket, and he wasn't like keen on getting a ticket, and
oh,
it's fine. So I was like, yeah, I'll just go by myself. It's cool. And like I went, and like I had a blast. Like it was just me.
I'm too
like I,
antisocial to go to a concert by myself.
I mean, like I, well, I didn't even talk to nobody, but well, actually, that's not entirely true because like months before the concert, I was in a Twitter group chat with like
Oh,
people that were going to the Vegas concert. So like I had people to talk to like before and after the concert, but like during the concert it was just me. Like and it was it was an amazing concert.
Yeah.
Um, and same thing with 21 Pilots that I'm going to see in August. I'm just gonna go
Yeah,
by
you
myself,
lucky bitch.
and I got pit tickets.
Oh shit.
Um, which unfortunately I wasn't able to get at the MCR show
Hmm.
because for whatever reason, when I bought the ticket, um, I was trying to buy it as fast as I could because I'm like, this shit's gonna sell out immediately.
Hmm.
So I have to like be fucking on it. And when you were going to buy the tickets, it didn't let you pick where you wanted to be. It just gave you a ticket.
Oh, that's lame.
So I was just like, fuck it, whatever I get, I get. Like I'm not gonna try to go back and then like because I know how this fucking thing works. It's like if
Hmm.
anything goes wrong and I have to refresh the page, my ticket's
Gone.
I'm not going. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm basically not going at that point anymore. So, um, yeah, that's the. I just got a random ticket for a seat. It wasn't a bad view, honestly. It's on my Instagram. I have videos, and you can pretty much
Okay.
gauge like where I was sitting. But yeah, like I I almost got fucked out of the Tournament Pilots pit ticket too,
Shit.
because I went I signed up for the pre-sale and they're like, okay, we're gonna text you a code like 15 minutes before the pre-sale goes live, and you're gonna enter that code, and then you can buy your ticket. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I get on the site and I enter the code, and it's like select where you want. I'm like GA. Okay, enter all your information in. Enter in your credit card information. And then I'm like, okay, uh, check this box to make sure everything's correct and that you agree to all the terms, blah blah blah, and then hit complete purchase when you're done. So I hit complete purchase, and it's like taking a minute, and it pops up with an error, and it's like, this process cannot be completed. You have to refresh the page, and I'm like, you've got to be fucking kidding me, you rat bastards. So I'm
Oh
like,
shit.
okay, all right, whatever. So I refresh the page, and fucking GA's gone. And I'm just like, God fucking damn it,
That
bro.
hurts.
Dude, I was seriously considering, like, I don't even want to go anymore. Like,
Shit.
but I'm like, you know what? If I can get somewhere, like, relatively close to the stage, I'll take it, I guess. So, like, I settled on, like, a seat on, like, the side of the stage, but it was still, like, really close.
Uh-huh.
So I was like, okay, I'll just get that instead. So I was clicking on that portion of it, and like it wasn't doing anything. And I was like, motherfucker, are you serious? Like, I just want to buy a motherfucking ticket.
That's it.
And I'm like, all right, I'll refresh the page again. So I refreshed the page again, and miraculously, there's tickets available for GA again.
What the
And
fuck?
I was like, word? So I'm just like, I'm clicking on that shit. I'm fucking furiously entering in my information again. I'm like, please, for the love of God, work. I fucking click complete checkout. It's loading. I'm just sweating bullets the entire time.
Hoping it goes through.
Yeah. And I got that fucking message. Congratulations, you're gonna go see 21 Pilots. And I was like, hell yeah, I am.
Yeah.
Fuck you, but hell yeah.
Man, okay, so tickets and everything like that. I think the fucking tax on tickets is insane.
bro, bro, look, look.
And I know you go to a lot of concerts, so you will know
See,
exactly what the fuck I'm talking about.
the thing is like I go to a lot of I go to a mixture of like local concerts and
Mhm.
the bands I go see say for like, well, I'm not sure how I want to say this, but like usually the tickets I buy aren't insanely expensive.
Mhm.
But there's a few bands that I will pay extra money for because like I'm like a huge fan of that
Yeah.
band.
Yeah.
Oh, like basically, if like if you're in my like top five of bands, maybe even just top three is when I'll be like, okay, I'm willing to pay like a little extra because I
Mm.
know like they're good live or like I've seen them live or whatever. But yeah, so like the tickets I buy are usually not that expensive. Um, so I know it also depends too on what service the
Mm.
band uses, what ticket service. And Ticketmaster is notorious for being pieces of shit.
Yeah.
Um, so for the 21 Pilot show, the ticket itself was 120, which you know what, given like inflation and um I know because I went to see them in 2019, I think
Mm.
2018, 2019. Um, like I know like what kind of production and shit goes into their shows. So like I'm not mad. Like I get it. Like 120, but like the show that like what you get like it to me it's worth it.
Mm.
Like cuz like the amount of like spectacle and like the production that goes into the show of like everything that goes on like I get it. It feels worth my money.
Mm.
But so that's just the price of the ticket. But like when you're like finalizing your checkout, it's like service fees and
Mm.
taxes and tax. Okay, fine. But like $60 in service fees? Are you fucking
Yeah,
kidding
that's
me?
fucking ridiculous.
And I'm just like, what do you? It's a digital ticket. What the fuck could you possibly be doing?
Right.
I can not, even if it was a physical ticket, service fee is 60. Like really, um, like so yeah. Like after all was said and done, it was like 190.
Shit. For
And
one
like I
ticket is
said,
crazy.
I'm telling you, and like I said, if it was literally any other band, no.
Mm.
But since I like 21 Pilots is one of my favorite bands of all time, and they don't come here that often. They usually only tour like there's a lot of factors that go into it.
Uh-huh.
Um, but yeah, like 190 for a ticket is crazy.
Yeah, that's
Um,
insane.
as someone who spent money on a $190 ticket, I realize how stupid that sounds, but you know,
Hey man, at least
you
you're
know,
gonna go and have fun, I guess.
you gotta treat yourself
Yeah, for sure.
sometimes.
Even if it's
um,
$190. I can't say shit. I avidly buy shoes and I spent $450 on a pair, so I can't say nothing.
I mean, you know what though? I hate to admit it, but in the grand scheme of things, 190 isn't really that expensive for a ticket
Yeah,
these
no,
days.
it's not.
Especially like I know for a fact that Blink 182 is going on tour, I think
Hmm.
this year.
Yeah, it is. It's in
And
like middle of the year.
yeah, and I've seen ticket prices for like $600-$700.
Yeah, that's
And I'm
fucking
just like,
ridiculous.
and people, the wild part is people are paying it.
Yeah.
Like, I like, look, I understand that uh 21 Pilots is one of my favorite bands. I understand that My Chem is one of my favorite bands ever.
Mhm.
But there is a cutoff point.
Yeah,
It
for sure.
just so happens that 21 Pilots just came in a little bit under that cutoff point.
Yeah.
Like the most I'll go is like 200. Maybe 250 to 300, but even like that would have to be like a very like a very very special circumstance.
Mhm.
like if they're going on tour with like MCR and like somebody else that I like, then it's like, okay, like I'm seeing two of my favorite bands ever. Okay, maybe I can justify the 250 to 300 ticket price because those are two very large bands with very big productions. Okay, I kind of get it. But like even if I was like the biggest Blink 182 fan in the world, I cannot justify $600 to $800 on a
Yeah.
ticket.
Even when like even not just music, but like for football fans, the Super Bowl, for wrestling fans, WrestleMania and everything, like I just can't imagine saving up money for a full year just for one night, you know? Now, I feel like
Right.
that's a different story if you're going on like vacation with your family or with your friends or something like that. I feel like that's a totally
Right.
different story. But saving up just for an event that's one night, yeah, okay, it's the biggest event of the year, biggest event of the season, however you want to put it. But it's just crazy to me to spend that much and then the service fees on top of it and all the other added,
Yep.
tax and shit. I just think that's insane. Like, I get it, get your money, shit. Don't, not mad at you. But to spend that much money for a single event when you can do so much more with it, to
Right.
me, it's just crazy. Like
Hmm.
like we were just talking, like $200 is a lot for a ticket. I spent $400 on a pair of shoes. Yeah, that's a lot, but just one night, just and half the time you're not even getting good seats. You're like
Yeah.
halfway in the fucking nosebleed, still paying $8,000 for what, 3 hours?
Yeah, and like I like it's not lost on me how lucky I got to be able to get a pit ticket.
Uh,
Because like I've seen on Twitter like because I feel really lucky and grateful to be able to drop $200 on a ticket just cuz.
uh-huh.
But like I know that there's people out there who are as much of a fan of the band as I am, if not more, that just can't. And like I know that feeling and it fucking sucks.
Uh-huh.
Um actually, you know what? As a matter of fact, I was trying to get tickets to because see, this is one of those circumstances where like I can kind of understand paying like $300 for a ticket
Uh-huh.
because I was trying to get tickets to the When We Were Young festival this year,
Okay.
and what they're doing this year is a lot of the bands from like that 2004 to like 2007 8 era are playing though they're like I don't know about most famous albums, but
Mm.
like it's nostalgia bait. Like that's what this whole festival is.
Yeah.
But the the headliner is My Chemical Romance, and they're playing the Black Parade in full from beginning to end.
Hell yeah.
And like for me, that's like a dream scenario. So I'm like, I have to fucking go. And but two, there's other bands who are performing because like I guess like the if you want to call it a gimmick, the gimmick is like that they're playing like the nostalgia albums in full,
Mm.
right? So like if I go to this festival, there's like four, five, six other bands that I want to see perform albums. So like in that scenario, like I said, I don't mind spending like $200 or $300 on a ticket
Mhm.
because like in that case, I feel like it's worth it.
See,
But
to me, when it comes to shit like that, like if I know I'm gonna spend a little more and everything, I'm a heavy user of Afterpay when it comes to shit like that because I would rather pay it slowly over time than, pay it all at
yeah,
once. Plus, I feel like, I mean, I know you're not saving money, you're spending the same amount, but I feel like you're making your money last longer, and you also have that opportunity of if this isn't what I want, if I change my mind about the event, I know I can just go and I could cancel the order and everything, and I'll get my money back. But I don't know. To me, I would rather spend $200 over time than $200 at once.
Yeah, I get that, but for me personally, I just don't like having to deal with remembering to pay it,
Yeah.
or like having to. I know I probably sound fucking lazy. It's just like, like just remember the fucking day, you fucking idiot. But like, I
I
just
mean,
like
to
to.
be fair, they send you text reminders and
Yeah,
fucking app
but like
reminders and
I just
shit.
like to just pay it and just not have to worry about it.
Yeah, which is fair.
um, but yeah, when I was trying to get tickets, I think it was like 300, and 350 or 360, like after the fees and everything.
Jesus.
And I mean, like I said, I was fine because I was like, it's worth it because I'm gonna see like a lot of bands I listen
Uh,
to perform favorite albums, so it's cool. Site wasn't fucking working. And by the time it was working, like all the fucking, because I guess they had like tiers of tickets you could buy. I don't know what the
uh,
difference was. Um, I'm sure there was one. I just didn't know what it was. But
sure it's like
like
VIP and shit.
all the tier one tickets, the ones that were like 250, 300 or whatever,
Oh,
when the site was working again, all those fucking gone. So the only tickets that were left were like 400, 500, and I was like,
shit.
I want to go really badly, but I don't want to spend $400, dude. Fuck. And yeah, that hurt. That hurt because it's like my
Yeah.
favorite band performed my favorite album, and I can't go. Fuck
Yeah,
me.
it definitely sucks, man.
But I guess as a consolation prize, I'm gonna go see 21 Pilots. So I guess it evens out.
Shit, at least you get something.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah, I can't see both my favorite bands in the same year. I'll just get too powerful.
You stupid. See, that's what I'm trying to do, though. I'm trying to go to more concerts and everything because honestly, I haven't really been to many. I've been to maybe like five. No,
Yeah.
maybe not even that. Maybe like three or four. And it's just, I've already been to one this year. I have one in 10 days. I have another one on the 24th of next month. I want to go see Joyner Lucas, and that's in June. And then I want to go see Kid Cudi, and that's the day before my birthday in August. So, I don't know. I want to do more concerts and like sporting events and shit like that. Instead of
Yeah.
sitting at home all day.
I think I told you. I don't know. I don't remember if I did, but Breaking Benjamin's coming here in October, I believe.
Yes, you texted me that, I believe. I believe it was.
Oh, yeah. Like we should definitely hit that up if you're
Yeah,
down.
for sure. Where are they playing at?
This place I've never heard of. Well, it's on the strip, but like I've never. I don't know if it's like a new theater or something, but
Uh-huh.
it's on some, it's near Paris, I think.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean,
Yeah, for
I'm
sure.
sure we can figure it out. But
Yeah,
yeah, if you're down, just let me know and I'll grab a ticket.
for sure. Just gotta see
Or
what day it is, that's all.
I think it's October 15th, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Um, actually, you know what? If we do buy tickets, just have one of us buy two tickets because if it's assigned seating, then we can get places together.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if GA sold out already or only one way to find out. Nope.
Yes, sir. Pay them service fees, boy.
Service fees can fucking suck my ass.
Yeah.
Actually
Well,
I saw something. Was it this morning or yesterday? I guess like the federal government is like looking into Ticketmaster for like outrageously pricing their shit, which I think is
yeah, I've
hilarious.
been hearing that for a couple. I want to say it's maybe been like 2 months. Is that they're trying to get them to stop the service fees because they know people want to go to concerts and Service fees
Yeah,
are
because like I
crazy.
said, it's a digital ticket. What the fuck are you servicing?
Yeah, literally all you have to do is post it. That's it.
Like, there's nothing. There's literally nothing you have to do.
Yeah.
I mean, at least if it was a physical ticket, you can kind of hide behind the excuse of, well, we have to print it, then we have to mail it. But like,
Yeah.
it's a digital ticket, you don't have to do shit with
Yeah, you
anything.
don't. Literally just send a confirmation email, that's all.
I'm saying, like,
Like,
uh, but oh yeah, I'd say another fun, successful podcast.
yes, sir.
Hour and 45 minute, gang.
Gang shit.
Well, do you have any closing statements, sentiments?
Um, no, not really. Just stay tuned, tune in. Great shit, good episode, great episodes coming.
Keep Bajaing your blast, if
Yeah,
I do say so myself.
yes, sir. Yeah, no,
If
that's
you,
all.
yeah, if you want to find the podcast on social media, I will have links in the description. But other than that, I guess we'll see you the next time we decide to make a podcast. So later,
Bye.
guys.